Hold on to your hats, people, because the United Kingdom is plunging headfirst into a whirlwind of chaos and calamity that's shaking the very foundations of power. Rachel Reeves, Labour's beleaguered Chancellor, is staring down the barrel of a career-ending catastrophe as her economic fantasies collapse in a spectacular explosion of failure and fury. What began as a shaky policy misadventure has spiraled into an all-out disaster, complete with parliamentary carnage, a jaw-dropping act of violence, and a legal storm that could see her dragged from the Treasury to a courtroom in disgrace. This isn't just news, it's a heart-stopping, edge-of-your-seat epic of devastation, desperation, and a nation on the brink. Imagine a Britain battered and broken, families crushed beneath a tsunami of soaring bills, pensioners left to freeze in the shadows of Reeves' cold-hearted cuts, and businesses crumbling under the weight of her catastrophic blunders. At the eye of this storm stands a woman whose lofty visions of financial triumph have crumbled into a nightmare of historic proportions. But brace yourselves, because the real shocker is still to come. A brutal brawl in the hallowed halls of Westminster that's left the political elite gasping and Reeves' future dangling by a fraying thread. Before we plunge into this electrifying saga, let me sound the alarm. You must subscribe to this channel right now. Trust me, you can't afford to miss a single heartbeat of this unfolding disaster. We're delivering the raw, unvarnished truth, straight from the fiery front lines of Britain's collapse. Smash that subscribe button and join the legion of viewers already riveted by our no-holds-barred coverage. Don't be the one left in the dark as this scandal detonates. Subscribe today, or risk missing the most earth-shattering revelations yet to come. Now, let's rewind to where it all ignited. A parliamentary showdown so savage it'll be etched in the annals of history as the day Rachel Reeves' credibility was ripped to shreds. Shadow Chancellor Mel Stride, a man wielding facts like a flamethrower, stormed the stage and unleashed a verbal onslaught that left Reeves reeling. With ruthless precision, Stride shredded her economic policies, exposing them as a flimsy facade that buckled under the weight of reality. Inflation soaring to paralyzing peaks, tax hikes bleeding families dry, energy bills blasting into orbit. Stride laid bare the wreckage, branding Reeves the mastermind of a financial doomsday engulfing Britain. The chamber buzzed with tension, the air crackling as Stride rained down a barrage of undeniable truths. Reeves' boasts of stability? Annihilated. Her claims of championing the working class? Unmasked as shameless falsehoods. Eyewitnesses recall her sitting there, ashen-faced and quaking, her composure shattered as Stride's words struck like thunderbolts. Insiders dubbed it a slaughter, a pitiless, unrelenting takedown that left Reeves humiliated, mute, and visibly crumbling before a nation's gaze. But if you thought that was the peak, hold tight. Because what followed turned this political train wreck into a scandal straight out of a fever dream. As the session adjourned and MPs flooded Westminster's corridors, murmurs escalated into roars. Reeves, still smarting from her public thrashing, allegedly cornered Stride in a blaze of unbridled wrath. Multiple, rock-solid sources swear that the Chancellor, pushed beyond her breaking point, snapped, lunging at Stride and landing a punch in a stunning eruption of violence that's rocked the capital to its core. That's right, Rachel Reeves, the supposed steward of Britain's economy, reportedly turned Westminster, the sacred heart of democracy, into a battleground more akin to a gritty street fight than a seat of governance. The aftermath hit like a bombshell. Word of the clash spread like a plague, with stunned onlookers recounting a scene of pandemonium as aides rushed to pull them apart. Stride, bruised but unbroken, emerged triumphant, not just from the debate, but from a physical showdown that's left Reeves' reputation in ruins. Pundits are screaming unprecedented meltdown, a moment so unhinged, so reckless, that it's ignited a frenzy of conjecture. Can Reeves claw her way back? Is her career toast? Or will she stagger on, a hollow shell clinging to the debris of her dreams? But the plot thickens. As if a parliamentary fistfight wasn't wild enough, Reeves now faces the chilling prospect of legal retribution. Reports confirm that court proceedings are on the horizon. Criminal charges could be slamming down on the Chancellor's desk. Legal gurus are ringing warning bells, cautioning that her tantrum might see her swapping Treasury briefings for a defendant stand. Picture it, Chancellor behind bars. It's a twist so outrageous, so gripping, it feels like a blockbuster thriller, except it's unfolding live, right here, right now, in Britain's beating heart. Meanwhile, the country groans under Reeves' economic wreckage. The cost of living crisis has metastasized into a waking nightmare, driving families to the edge of despair. Energy bills have spiked by a staggering 6.4%, forcing the average household to fork over gut-punching £1,849 annually just to stay warm. Pensioners, forsaken by Reeves' callous cuts, shiver through icy nights, Their winter fuel payments axed in a move charities like Age UK have blasted as cruel beyond words. Inflation rages unchecked, food prices climb relentlessly, and wages stagnate, leaving millions leaning on food banks to scrape by. This isn't a misstep, it's a humanitarian catastrophe, and Reeves is steering the ship straight into the abyss. Stride spared no mercy in spotlighting the devastation. In a blistering Commons clash, he painted a grim portrait. Reeves' refusal to tame the energy crisis has birthed a monster that's ripping lives apart. Her tax and spend spree? A vicious attack on Britain's workers, with council tax hikes poised to batter 9 out of 10 local authorities with a minimum 4.99% jump come April. Taxpayers are howling highway robbery, and Stride didn't flinch, likening Reeves' policies to Thatcher's despised poll tax, a barb so vicious it sent Labour ranks reeling. Businesses, too, are buckling, with retailers sounding the alarm over price surges and national insurance hikes set to pulverise employers already on life support. Public fury is boiling over. Reeves' recent outings have been a disaster, furious pensioners and frantic families ambushing her at every step, demanding answers she can't muster. In one cringe-inducing blunder, she tried to peddle her policies as a boon for the working class, only for Stride to swoop in with damning proof that torched her lies. The shame was absolute, her authority reduced to cinders as the nation gaped in disbelief. And then came the punch that echoed through Westminster, a burst of insanity that's turned Reeves into a national pariah. Labour's inner circle is in meltdown. With May's local elections looming, the party faces an electoral apocalypse. Scotland and Wales are abandoning them in droves, sick of Reeves' failure to deliver salvation. If inflation keeps surging and mortgage costs rocket, public rage could erupt into a political tsunami, drowning Labour in a flood of voter wrath. And with the assault scandal screaming from every headline, the party's hopes are dimmer than a powerless home in winter. But there's more. Stride dropped a bombshell, blasting Reeves for scrapping universal winter fuel payments, a move that sparked outrage from charities and left pensioners stranded. Disability advocates like Scope have slammed her for ignoring the crushing burdens on Britain's most vulnerable, while Stride demanded an immediate U-turn. Reeves. She offered nothing. Just a vacant look and, it seems, a swinging fist. Even Labour's Energy Secretary, Ed Miliband, is flailing, his £150 Warm Homes discount pledge met with scorn as millions brace for a punishing financial frost. Reform UK is swooping in like hawks, with Nigel Farage's squad pouncing on Reeves' incompetence to warn that her net zero fixation will catapult energy costs into the cosmos. The Tate brothers, Andrew and Tristan, have even crashed the chaos, their own legal storm stoking the flames of Britain's frenzied news cycle. Facing extradition calls over sex trafficking claims, their private jet dash to Florida only amplifies the sense that the UK is spiralling into anarchy under Labour's reign. So here we are, a chancellor on the ropes, a nation in freefall, and a scandal so bonkers it beggars belief. Mel Stride's demolition of Reeves was a masterstroke, his surgical dissection of her failures so thorough that her fate is sealed in neon. If she can't claw her way out of this pit, her tenure will end in infamy, her legacy a warning scrawled in the ashes of ambition. But with a courtroom showdown looming, her fiercest battle might not be in Parliament, it might be for her liberty. Stick around, because this roller coaster is roaring on. The UK is a powder keg primed to blow, and Rachel Reeves is the spark. Will she crash? Will Labour burn? Or will Britain itself snap under the strain? One thing's certain. You won't want to miss the next chapter.